The official Diablo 4 release is still a couple months away from us, while the early access, the open beta, is just around the corner. And I'm super excited to start covering the game on the channel, as we've already played a lot of Diablo 3 on the channel, as well as other dungeon crawlers. But in this video, I want to get you guys ready for the release. Talk about pretty much everything you need to know about the open beta, the early access, from the different game versions, how you can get access to it. Heck, you don't even have to purchase the game to test it yourself, and also talk about the contents which are going to be available during testing, the rewards you can get your hands on, and so much more. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Alright, so first off, how do you even get access to the beta? Because there are actually two different versions. The first one is the early access version, which you only get access to if you pre-purchase or pre-order the game. This one starts on the 17th of March, so basically this Friday. Gonna be available for just the weekend, while the real open beta, let's say, is gonna be available for everybody on, of course, PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. The cool thing is, if you don't want to purchase the game yet, if you're still hesitant, you can always join a friend who is pretty determined on doing so, as you can check out the game together in local co-op without having to pay a dime. So I think that's a pretty good thing if you want to get convinced for actually purchasing the game. While if you're gonna play with friends, you're gonna be able to play with up to 4 people. More about what exactly you can expect of the beta itself in a minute. But now, if you want to know which version is going to be best for you, let's move on to the editions. So we have 3 different editions. The Standard Edition, Digital Deluxe Edition, as well as the Ultimate Edition, which has best value. It's also very expensive. Anyways, with a Standard Edition pre-purchased, you already have access to the early access, so you don't have to go for the Digital Deluxe or the Ultimate. While if you decide to purchase one of those, you will get up to 4 days early access to Diablo 4 when it officially releases. So I think that's a pretty nice deal. While if this is the only thing you're going to focus on, I think $20 more or euros is going to be a lot, as most of the things which you can see in the list right here is all cosmetic. So it's really up to you if you want to spend extra money on extra in-game swag, let's say, because that's pretty much everything you get. Now you're probably pretty curious what exactly you can test during the beta. What can you explore and what is going to be available for checking? Well, once again, there are 2 different versions. The early access only gives you the option to choose between the Barbarian, Sorcerer, and Rogue class, which are the 3 out of 5. I think also the most popular ones most people are looking forward to start playing, as the Barbarian is a heavy melee fighter, heavily relying on strength and bleed damage, while Thieves are agile with dexterity, a lot of jumping, moving forward, let's say, and Sorcerers are literally glass cannons on the battlefield. They hit like a truck with elemental damage. So I think there's already plenty to choose from during this small time window we're able to test the game. While next weekend, you will also have access to the Necromancer class as well as the Druid. Necromancer is gonna be perfect if you've also played Necromancer in Diablo 2, as you can literally summon an army of the dead, while I am very much looking forward to playing Druid, as I played a lot of Druid in World of Warcraft and I just love shapeshifting in general. I also played a lot of Witch Doctor in Diablo 3, and I think the crowd control is gonna be pretty similar. Anyways, for the early access, only Barbarian, Thief, and Sorcerer, so I'm probably gonna go for Barbarian. It really depends on your playstyle. If you like to be a glass cannon on the battlefield, if you like to take out your enemies from afar, it's probably gonna be interesting to go with Sorcerer, while if you just want to be in the front line all the time, just hit like a truck, then Barbarian is definitely going to be something for you. But I think if you're playing with a squad of friends, I definitely think it's going to be the best experience to all pick different classes, as then you will be able to get the most out of it during the beta, because you can play with up to 4 people. And the cool thing is you will have access to the entire prologue as well as Act 1, which is the first chapter of Diablo 4. This one is called Fractured Peaks, and apparently it already gives us plenty of hours of content to test during both weekends. So a lot of stuff to look forward to. While what I think is really nice is that you can not only play with up to 4 people, but there are also some boss events during the 2 weekends as well. So you get to taste a little bit of the MMO vibe, let's say, in Diablo 4. I'm sure it's gonna be pretty epic to finally be able to tackle some big bad boys during our adventures on the first act. Now, if you plan on playing a lot of Diablo during this test phase, both betas, you're probably curious if this progression also carries over to the main game. Unfortunately, it doesn't. But what I do think is pretty cool is that if you take part in both betas, both the one this weekend as well as the next, this progression does carry over. So say you're playing on a Barbarian and you already finished half of Act 1. Next week, you can continue where you left off. So that is definitely interesting if you want to see as much of the story as possible. While you can also, of course, take all this time to test out all the different classes. Say this weekend, you're going to focus on the Barbarian, the Rogue, as well as the Sorcerer. And in the next one, you're going to try out the Druid and a Necromancer. It's really up to you, but I think it's going to be more interesting to share the different experiences with your friends who take different classes, because that's probably going to be the best way to get the most out of the beta. However, if you care about cosmetics, you will have a chance of completing a couple milestones during the beta, and this will reward you with a pretty cute dog backpack, let's say, which you can use probably on all your different characters after you've unlocked it, as Diablo 4 is going to be filled with cosmetics. So definitely things to look forward to. Yeah, you can judge for yourself if you're going to play the beta. Let me know in the comments what you think of the game, if you've already tested it, and of course, after you've seen it in the coming 2 weekends. Love to hear your thoughts about it as well. Probably pretty important to know as well, can you even run Diablo on your platform? Well, it's going to be available for quite some of them. Battle.net, which is PC, Xbox Series X as well as S, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, as well as PlayStation 4. So plenty to choose from. Well, I'm going to play the game myself on PC. Very much looking forward to that. And yeah, you also want to know what the minimum requirements are for this bad boy, as maybe you don't meet the requirements just yet. On console, I think you don't have to worry about that much, as it's probably going to be balanced for it. While on PC, the minimum requirements are going to be 8 GB of RAM, while recommended would be 16. According to PC Game Benchmark, you're going to need about 50 GB of free space on your device. Probably the same on console, while for processor, Intel i5 6500 as minimum, or an AMD FX 6300, 4 GB of VRAM, or an GTX 1050 Ti. Recommended though is going to be an RTX 2060. So there you have it, everything you need to know to get ready for the early access and open beta for Diablo 4. If you're hyped for the game, let us know in the comments down below. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to start testing it myself, make content for it in the coming days. So ladies and gentlemen, a big thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you found this video helpful, of course. Yeah, stay tuned if you want to see more Diablo 4. Right now it's 4 AM out. A big thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.